Welcome back to Bristol Dragway, and this the NHRA Winston Noble Showdown, where top fuel dragsters race funny cars. Now, all weekend long, the funny car guys have shown a bit of solidarity, almost teamwork. For example, in the pre-race activities under the Bristol Tower, it was a huddle with the funny car guys bent on a mission to keep top fuel out of the winner's circle. Here in the semifinals, it's Top Fuel versus Dragster. Now let's go to the pit area. Here's Alan.
Bob Vandergriff came into the Noble Showdown not qualified. After all, this team has never won an NHRA national event, and that's how you get seated in the field. So he had to earn his way in, and earn it he did. He was #1 qualifier with a 4:55 elapsed time from Friday night. Today, he's just been mowing his way through the field, even though it did fall off a little bit against Tony Schumacher, but they softened it up for the third round, and it went 4:58. Quickest car in the ballpark right now. Now, they change engines in this car as part of normal maintenance. Even though there's nothing wrong with that motor that just ran 458, there's a brand new bullet in the car. And without so much as a national event trophy on his mantelpiece, Vandergriff really believes he can walk out of here with Winston's $200,000. Bill?
The Nitro Funny Car, driven by Chuck Etchells and owned by Jim Sickles, is going to the semifinals against Bob Vandergriff, and it would be polite to describe this team as maybe one of the less heavily funded teams here. Are you a little surprised, Tom Anderson, that you're getting this deep into eliminations this weekend?
Well, not really. If you remember right, I raced with Al Hoffman there for quite a few years before we got a major sponsorship, and I think we won this race a couple of times without a sponsor. So we've been there and done that before, but we're trying to do good here and win this race. We've got an excellent driver, and we've got actually an excellent team, and we're just looking for some funding.
Do you have to tune this car conservatively because of the fact that you don't have a lot of extra stuff to put in if you start breaking it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a little conservative, but it's still pretty fast.
Obviously he is, and the whole irony of this thing is that this is one team that maybe came here with the least money, and in a couple of rounds may leave here with the most.
That'd be great.
Oh, Tommy Anderson, that'd be great. It'd be great as well for this team. Joe Gibbs, MBNA car, and Corey McClenathan is the wheel. They're getting it ready. They're racing John Force, and they hope maybe the green paint scheme might be kryptonite-based, maybe, because John Force, with his new Superman paint scheme, he's always surrounded by a bevy of fans. Somewhere down in the midst of all that fracas is Alan Reinhardt.
John Force rolled into Bristol decked out as Superman. And so far this weekend, he has been running like Superman. He was the #1 funny car qualifier, and he's just been crushing them throughout eliminations. As we get set for the semifinals, here's something to think about. Twice today, we've seen top fuel car against top fuel car. We have not yet seen two funny cars run each other. The only way that could happen, if Force gets past Corey Mack and Chuck Etchells is able to stop Bob Vandergriff, we'd have two funny cars together in the final. But I'll tell you this, win, lose, or draw, the fans have thought this guy was Superman for years.
What we do have is a top fuel dragster against the funny car in both of our semifinal round races. Coming up next. Welcome back to Bristol Dragway. Tommy Anderson starting Chuck Etchells. A quick check of the engine, making sure everything's running properly. They'll drop the body down on the funny car, closing Etchells in as he concentrates on the Christmas tree to beat this man, Bob Vandergriff Jr. Talk about focused. He is ready to take a shot at Etchells to move to the $200,000 final round of this Noble Showdown. The burnout procedure has been staggered all day long. The funny cars do a slightly longer burnout, maybe build just a bit more heat in these nitro-burning engines that produce nearly 7,000 horsepower out of 500 cubic inches. Back in the staging lanes, our other pair of semi-finalists doing whatever they do to take the pressure off. John Force walking and waving, just everything normal with that camp. And Corey McClenathan, a little bit of confidence maybe, as he's got a good top fuel dragster, and he has been on his game in the reaction time wars. For Chuck Etchels, things have been exactly the opposite. His opponents have not been on their game. In fact, each one of them has left a big red light showing. Chuck Etchels advanced to the semifinals on the basis of 3 consecutive red lights. Ray Alley, the crew chief for Bob Vandergrift, bringing him to the starting line, positioning him in the highest traction area available. Etchels, red lights. Vandergrift to the finals at a 493, 281 miles an hour. Not quite as quick as his previous round. Watch Chuck Etchels. He staged very light, just flickering the bottom or staging light. Then when he hit the throttle, way too soon. Etchels almost a 1/10 too quick at the Christmas tree. Vandergrift to the final round.
Bob, I guess since you're used to the funny cars leaving early, that red light didn't spook you, huh?
Oh, I don't even listen to it. I just watch my light. And it shook really hard out there, and I had to pedal it. And hopefully Force will have problems. I don't know if lane choice is that big a deal, but the Jersey's car is in the final, and that's all that matters. Great job by our team.
Now, wait a minute. Are you writing off Corey Mack?
My fault. Dragsters are going to kick John Force's butt. You watch right here.
Nice recovery, Bob. All right. He's already told you the next pair coming up when we return. It's Corey McLenithan against the guy they call Superman.